Hi there, Jonny here from JonnyLipshamStudios.co.uk, and in this third video of the Note Effects series, we are going to look at the repeater. Repeater is a very cool little note effect tool. It has a whole bunch of parameters which we will overview, and then we will look at kind of ways in which you can adjust the pitch and the velocity of each of the steps in each pattern, and you can change the number of steps and all of that fun stuff. And then what you can do is you can make your own little patterns based out of this, and then you can store them as a preset, which is something I have done here. You can just hit the store preset button. I've already done that here with this one here, which I just call Lips Blues Lick, because, you know, Lip is kind of, it's my nickname. So that one's pretty effective. But let's go and take a look at what you have available in terms of presets. Now, there's only a folder called Sequences. Some of the other note effects that we have looked at have had various different folders with different presets in them. This only has Sequences because it's basically a repeater. It just repeats notes. It does exactly what it says on the tin, but you can get a little bit creative with it. So let's take a look at a few of these. Let's try this one. And all this one does is just go up and down 2 octaves. So the actual fundamental pitch, then up 2 octaves, and then up an octave, up 2 octaves, up an octave. Let's see what else we have. We've got this one here. Gets a little bit interesting if you start playing with chords. Some of them work really great for chords, and some of them not quite so well. Let's try this one here. This one, I suppose, is quite good for faking a guitar part. Again, you've got to be really accurate about when you change the note, change chord or change note on your controller keyboard. Otherwise, if you start it a little bit early, you'll get, like I did there, you'll get a little bit of overlap of the pattern, and it doesn't sound very good. So you have to be quite precise about when you start the next pattern with the note, with the repeater. And again, you've got these little bars here that are different velocities and different gate lengths, and these are all adjustable, so you can adjust all of the gates down if you want to, and make a different sound altogether. Which I suppose, if you kind of like doing a muted kind of thing, could be quite cool for something very funky. Or you can roll that up and get something a bit more legato. Could be quite effective for a particular part that you've got here. Now this button here, this is velocity is relative to input, which is what I've got engaged here. You can change the level of it here. You can have it set, so it's set to 80%. But with this button engaged, what this means is if I press the key very softly, all of these velocities in the steps here, the 16 steps, will be relative to that input velocity. So if I press a lot harder, now it's going to be different, and it's also opened up the envelope of the particular sound that we use. And you might not get that with other sounds, but certainly with that one it does, so it could be quite effective. And then you've got this one here, velocity scaling, which is set to 100%. I tend to leave these ones alone. And then this big knob here, which we've seen in other note effects, where you can change it says rate here, but really it should be note value. And this sync button will sync to the song tempo. Cool thing about this is it does do that. It does sync to the song tempo. However, you got to be pretty exact when you press the keys down. Otherwise, if you're a little bit early, the whole pattern will be a little bit early. Or if you're a little bit late, the whole pattern will be a little bit late. But again, you can go and quantize that, and it's all cool. And the whole pattern will shift and be in time, which is what you want. Okay, let's move on through some of these other sequences, like this one here. Everybody should recognize this one. And I'm not going to play any more of that for obvious reasons. And then we've got some fun ones here, like this is nice walking bass line. Which could be handy if you're not really very good at walking bass lines and you just want to do it with one key. You can certainly do that with rock and roll bass. Very, very handy. Somebody's already mapped out the pitches that you need up here. And then you've got the velocity set nice and evenly and it's nice and legato. But again, if you want to make it a little bit shorter, why anybody would want that, I don't know, but you never know. Or if you want it even just a hair more legato, so each note leads into the next one nice and smoothly, you can certainly adjust that. And then there's the gate scaling as well. And if you decide that maybe you want the downbeat just emphasized just a little bit more, you can adjust those there. Wait, and that's what happens if you accidentally press two keys at the same time. So that could be useful. And then we've got running blade. This one again kind of lends itself to chords as well a little bit. Or that's a little bit more discordant. But again, you can change any of these values. You can adjust the scale, you can adjust the gate length, you can make it a little bit funkier if you want to. To get a little bit more separation of each individual note. Those can be pretty handy. And then there's this one at the end here. Now this is a nice little pattern as well. I like this one. Can be useful for different synth groove patterns. And again, you can adjust any of these parameters to your heart's content. You can change some of these pitch values. And then you can just hit store and save it as a preset. And then you've got your own custom built patterns that you can use for different songs. So start with one of these baseline default is the word I'm looking for. These default presets, and then you can just be creative and adjust some of these values until you come up with something that you like or is going to suit your needs, and then you can store it as a preset, which is very, very handy. Okay, so the next video and the next set of videos after this, we are going to look at the input filter in the next video, and after that we will be concentrating on application of all of these note effects now that we have kind of taken a look at each one and kind of how you can manipulate them and adjust some of the parameters for them and what they do. We will be concentrating on how you can apply these to actual music making in a song context, and how you can combine these note effects together. So you can combine the chord with the arpeggiator to create a very, very interesting faked rhythm guitar part or a faked keyboard part, and have lots and lots of fun with that. And then we're going to look at how you can kind of open up the all of the notes from each of these patterns in the note editor, and then you can have the part follow the chord track. for your song. It's going to be very, very cool. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell and select all notifications. That way you will be notified as to when the next video in this series comes out, and that you're not going to miss these next series of videos in this Note Effects series, where we're going to look at applying these to actually making a song. All right. Thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.